Welcome back, guys. And today we're going to be talking about the discography of the Strawberry Alarm Clock. They were a 1960s psychedelic pop band. You may recognize the hit Incense and Peppermints, and that was Strawberry Alarm Clock. So, I was going to continue the process of going, from psychedelic to metal, hard rock, classic rock, prog, continue. And so Deep Purple was going to be next. But instead, I was inspired by a fellow YouTuber named Calico Silver. That's his channel. And he has recently put out a couple of videos regarding 60s psychedelic pop music. So he inspired me to place Strawberry Alarm Clock in front of Deep Purple for this discography review. And another YouTuber also inspired me, and he does a ton of these psychedelic album reviews. And he goes by the channel name These Reviews, so check him out as well. Deep Purple will be next, though, for all you Deep Purple fans. So, we're going to talk about Strawberry Alarm Clock's albums. Now, again, like the Jefferson Airplane, Quicksilver Messenger Service, a lot of these 60s bands did not release a ton of albums. So there's only like 5 albums in the discography. But we're going to go ahead and rank them today. And we'll go ahead and get started with my least favorite Strawberry Alarm Clock album, and it's called The World in a Seashell. This is a pleasant album. It's pop psychedelic music from the 60s. It's mostly subdued compared to the albums that I'll be speaking about by Strawberry Alarm Clock. It has a lot of light strings in the background, a lot of love songs on this one. Sounds a lot like some of the summery feel the love songs of the Beach Boys of the 60s. It's a very beautiful album. It just doesn't have a lot of rock or like sort of trippy psychedelic stuff like some of the albums that I'll mention here in a few minutes. But again, many love songs on this one. It's very subdued, very light. Love Me Again is a wonderful song. One of my favorites on this one. Barefoot in Baltimore is probably their most well-known song from this album. But I think my favorite is called Shallow Impressions. It's where they do sort of get a little trippy, like Strawberry Alarm Clock can. And so, that's probably my favorite track from this album, The World in a Seashell. Moving on. Now, I was not going to include this next album, but it's a 2013 reunion album called Wake Up Where You Are. The reason that I decided to include it is because although most of the album is a reworking of older tracks, they didn't really change it so much that it's unrecognizable. A lot of these 60s bands, when they release reunion albums, they completely change their sound. It doesn't sound like what you expect, and it's like they try to be more modern. They try to sound, more like music of the times rather than of their time. So Strawberry Alarm Clock, when they released this album, I was a little hesitant to listen to it because I didn't want my experience ruined. But wow, they didn't ruin it. It was great. It's a fantastic album. Like I said, it's a lot of reworking of the older songs, but they didn't change the feel, the vibe of those songs. They just added little parts to it, little things to it. There's a song called Bird in My Tree, which I will mention on another album, but this is my favorite version of it. They added an incredible guitar solo to it. It was like a 2-minute song, and they added it so it was almost like a 4-minute song now, but it has such great instrumentation in it. That's the thing about Strawberry Alarm Clock that a lot of people don't understand. They just think, well, it's some psychedelic pop garage band. No, these guys are talented musicians, super musicians. I would even say progressive to an extent. And I'll get into that in a few minutes. But yeah, this one's I don't know. It's just, like I said, it's got old songs, new songs sprinkled in. I love all the new songs off this album. It's a very solid album. Like I said, they didn't change a lot. They updated their sound a little bit, but it still holds that Strawberry Alarm Clock feel. So they didn't sell out. I enjoy this album. It's a great album. So wake up where you are. My next choice is going to be Good Morning Starshine. I don't think they wrote that, but that is the title track of the album, and they do have a song called Good Morning Starshine on this one. This one's a bit more garage rock than most of Strawberry Alarm Clock's albums. It has more of that rock sound to it, especially more than Seashell did. It's probably their most acid rock sounding album. It's got probably more acid rock than it does psych pop on this album. It's gritty at times, more than most of their releases. I mean, it has more in common with the Rolling Stones than it does the Beach Boys. You know, the Seashell album is sort of the Beach Boys sound. This one's a little bit more, you know, Chocolate Watch Band and Rolling Stones, you know, kind of got some grittiness to it. It's a lot more rollicking and freewheeling, you know, than most of their albums. My favorite song off this album is sort of a throwback to their psychedelic pop sound, and it's called Small Package. I love that song. It's probably my favorite or second favorite Strawberry Alarm Clock song of all time. So, Small Package, wonderful song. Dear Joy is a good one on this one, and the bluesy sound and bluesy rock Changes is really good on this one too. So, yeah, you need to check this one out if you kind of like a little bit of a garage, grungy sound. Good Morning Starshine. Okay, next is going to be their debut album, Incense and Peppermints. Most people know this song, Incense and Peppermints. You know, you've heard that. Most people have. This is psychedelic pop at its finest, sunshine pop, however you want to describe it. It's very exuberant. It's very playful and trippy. Perfect 60s album. It's got some garage grit in it, like the song Lose to Live. It's got some beautiful, mellow parts to it. Rainy Day, Mushroom Pillow, things of that nature that was in the movie Psych Out. They did a lot of the songs for the movie Psych Out, 1968 movie Psych Out with Jack Nicholson. This album has the hit song Incense and Peppermints, of course, and that's also in the film, but it was a sort of a pop classic in the 60s. This album's definitely their magnum opus. It has most of the well-known Strawberry Alarm Clock songs. You got World's on Fire, the aforementioned Bird in My Tree, the 2-minute version, Pass the Time with Strawberry Alarm Clock. So many great songs off this album. It's almost like every song on this album is just perfect. Like I said, Rainy Day, Mushroom Pillow, all these songs, a great mixture of some of the Strawberry Alarm Clock classic songs. This is almost like a greatest hits album. It was their debut album. So, you know, this one, again, is highly recommended for any 60s. This is the one that I would say start out with. If you're going to start out with Strawberry Alarm Clock, start out with this one, Incense and Peppermints. So, we are getting to my favorite Strawberry Alarm Clock album. Coming in at number 1 is called Wake Up, It's Tomorrow. This one was I wanted to put Incense and Peppermints above it, but really I go back to this one more than Incense and Peppermints. This one's more progressive. It's more progressive psych. If you don't believe Strawberry Alarm Clock is progressive, you need to listen to the first song on this album. It's crazy. There's a lot more variety of sound and experimentation on this one. It's a bit trippier. You got tracks like Nightmare Percussion, which is the one I just talked about, the opening track. Wow, unbelievable how great this track is. Very complex. You got the Black Butter Suite. 3 songs, Black Butter. Great tracks. Psychedelic, progressive, little mixture of everything. They got a song on here called "They Saw the Fat One Coming," which is reminiscent of the Byrds. Sounds a lot like the Byrds, from like the mid-range of the Byrds catalog. You got the title track from the movie I spoke of earlier, Psych Out, called "Pretty Song from Psych Out." This passed probably one of the most beautiful songs that I've ever heard. And it's the title track of the movie Psych Out. "Pretty Song from Psych Out" is the first song that you hear when it comes on, when the film comes on. It explores sort of the hippie dream of peace and love, and it's just a beautiful song. But my favorite tracks off this one is Nightmare Percussion, Black Butter Suite, Pretty Song from Psych Out, and the song Tomorrow, which is also off the Psych Out album. Movie. Wonderful song. Another well-known song by the Strawberry Alarm Clock. So if you like psychedelic music, if you like 60s psych pop, I highly recommend you check out the Strawberry Alarm Clock if you haven't. They're not just a one-hit wonder, guys. You got to really listen to their catalog. It's fantastic. So, like I said, coming up next will be Deep Purple, and I'll delve into their catalog, which is way more extensive than Strawberry Alarm Clock. But until next time, you guys take care.